Today, I'm excited to introduce Sunny Dahye. Sunny is a creator and entrepreneur who grew up in Indonesia before returning to Korea, navigating life between cultures from a young age. Before stepping into the creative world, she was actually on a very traditional path, studying law, until she made the difficult decision to walk away from it and pursue a life that felt more true to who she was. She began her journey by starting a YouTube channel, sharing her everyday life and experiences honestly without knowing where it would even lead. But over time, that courage to start, even without certainty, opened doors, including eventually starting her own brand. Now, as a new mother to her daughter Sakura, Sunny is balancing creativity, responsibility, and personal growth in a whole new way. Her story is a real example of how dreams evolve, how fear is part of the process, and how staying true to yourself can shape a meaningful life. My hope is that her journey encourages you to trust your own path, stay motivated, even when things feel unclear, and believe that you can pursue your dreams while living your most authentic self. Let's give a round of applause for Sunny Dahye.
That was such a great introduction. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Megan,
I
for
worked
having
hard on
me.
it. You deserve it because you've done a lot of stuff.
Oh, thank you. How are you? How have you been?
I've been pretty good. It hasn't been that long since we've seen
I
each
know.
other.
We saw each other like 2 weeks ago,
2
a
weeks
week ago.
So Sunny is actually a friend that I met. When did we first meet? It's
Actually, let's trace back because I was thinking on the way here. I was like, wait, when did we met? Did we meet in one of YouTube function event or something?
I don't know. Did we?
Right?
I don't remember, but I think it was like 2014, 13.
Mm,
It was a while ago.
but I don't remember where.
Weren't we doing like a group vlog or something?
I think so. I think it's one of,
Or
or
a
it was like a
YouTube event.
YouTube event, I think.
Okay, either way, we've known each other for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
So your story is a very interesting one because you did start on a traditional path, but Sunny is Korean,
Yes.
but her parents moved to Indonesia when?
Oh, so let me just do a quick introduction, guys.
introduction.
So I'm fully Korean, Korean nationality. But when I was 4 years old, both of my parents moved to Indonesia. It was really interesting because they went to Bali for honeymoon and they fell in love there.
We went to Bali on our honeymoon.
Oh, what?
We got robbed, so we
Oh.
did not follow them. Just kidding.
Oh, yeah, but they went to Bali for honeymoon. Initially, my mom wanted to move to Brazil.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't really talk about this in any videos. Actually, maybe this is the first one, but she wanted
exclusive.
to. Yeah, she really loved like the Brazilian culture and she
Ooh.
loved that kind of lifestyle long time ago. So she wanted to move there. I think that was the time where financially in Korea, they were encouraging people. It was that time where the government encouraged all the Koreans to move out.
They did.
I think it was that time economically it wasn't doing that well or something. My mom
Oh.
said that to me. So she said she was already planning on moving there. But then when they went to Bali for honeymoon, she was like, oh, this place is great. I want to move here. So
Oh.
I was in Korea until I was 4. And then I moved with my mom. And basically I've been living in Korea. I've been living in Indonesia my whole life until I graduated. Yeah. So
Wow.
Korean
So-
on the outside. But inside, I'm Indonesian.
Oh, for some reason, I don't know why I thought they just lived there before. But that's so interesting. She fell in love with it, and they've been there ever since. So your parents don't want to move back?
Yeah, they kind of like it there.
They love it.
I think they become, and my mom too. She feel like she's Indonesian. She's a lot more comfortable in her friend group, and she basically been living there for over 20 years. So she's a lot more comfortable. It's
Over
really
30
interesting.
years, isn't it?
Yeah, over 30 years. Oh my
I
god.
was like 20, girl.
Because I kept on saying 20 for the longest time, so I think it stick on me. But yeah, whenever I see her come here and whenever she interact in Korean, she feels so uncomfortable, and she feel like she doesn't really belong. So yeah, she lives in Bali now.
So what about you? Do you feel like you belong more on the Korea side, or do you sort of miss like that childhood growing up in Indonesia? How do you like navigate between the two?
Between the two, so like I said, I grew up in Indo, and my first language was Indonesian. So I didn't talk to my mom in Korean until I was 9 because I really had no confidence in talking back in Korean. I understood what she was talking about, but it was just really foreign to me. So yeah, even like when I come back home after school, the comfort food that I look for is not kimchi jjigae or kimchi bokkeumbap. I always look for, mom, can I have tempe? Tempe is the Indonesian.
Oh yes, girl, I love tempeh.
Yeah, right. So tempeh or nasi goreng. So
Oh my god, I love nasi goreng.
so good, right? Yeah. So
Also, like, what is it? Noodles, mie goreng.
yeah, mee goreng, nasi goreng. Those are the food that I always
Girl, I do
find
like some
comfort,
Indonesian food.
girl. Yeah. So I feel that way with a lot of things from Indonesia. My best friend growing up are Indonesians. So until I moved to Korea, those were Indonesian was the only thing that I was exposed to. So there wasn't really much of in between culture to navigate. So yeah.
That's so interesting. You know, a lot of people have never heard probably what Indonesian sounds like.
Oh yeah.
And when I was there, like I was listening to it, I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
But I forgot everything I picked up.
So let me teach you.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Megan.
Okay.
Halo, nama saya Megan.
Hello, nama saya Megan.
Apa kabar?
Apa kabar?
How are you?
Apa kabar?
Oh, kabar baik.
Kabar baik.
Yeah. Or baik.
Baik
Yeah.
means good.
Yeah, good.
But I am curious, what brought you to Korea? And at what age did you come to Korea?
Oh, so I think growing up, having this identity crisis, I would say. I feel like a lot of overseas Korean or people who grew up in a country that is not where they're from, they always go through this identity crisis. Like, what am I? Like in here, I'm Korean, but when I go back to Korea, like, am I really Korean? You know, that kind of dilemma. So I think the longest time I always identify myself as Indonesian.
Of course.
But I've always been really curious with Korea and with the whole like K-drama booming. I think I started watching a lot of K-dramas.
Oh, she fell in love with her own country.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh, I'm kind of curious what they have there, you know? So for the longest time, I've had this, what do you call, romanticization of living in Korea and trying to understand my own culture that I feel like very distant to.
Right.
And also my love for K-beauty was so big that I started my channel when I was in law school. It's kind of like backtracking. It's really like a lot of different layers though, but I started my YouTube channel because I really didn't like studying law.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in my first year, I realized that I think law is not for me. I was forced to studying law because I have very academically conservative parents where they only gave me two options. It was either going to med school or law school.
Girl, everybody with Asian parents.
Yeah, so I didn't have any choice. I've always wanted to study something more creative, like art, but that was never in the conversation. So I just studied hard. Thankfully, I'm very grateful that I got into one of the top law school in Indonesia, Universitas Gadjah Mada. It's called University of Gadjah Mada, but in Indonesia, it's called Universitas Gadjah Mada.
Gadjah Mada.
Gadjah Mada.
Gadjah Mada.
Yeah.
Gadjah Mada.
Yeah, so
it's kind of like Spanish, universidad.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's how I started. I just didn't really, I realized it wasn't for me. And my love for makeup has always been really big since I was little. I've always been very curious what my mom is using, and it just all grew from there. And YouTube was my escape from reality.
Gotcha.
And also, I've always been an outsider. Growing up in my family, I was always the weirdo, doing something so different than everybody. When everybody, like all my cousins will be like #1 in school, like 종교 1등 and all that. But I'm like, I don't know, I'm like cutting something in the corner, doing something weird, and they always like, oh my God, what is she doing? You know?
You're like coloring with crayons.
Yeah, or
like,
something.
Look at me doing math.
Right? And then I've always been doing that. And even in school, also because I'm like physically quite different than my friends, I never really feel like I fit in anywhere. So I've always been longing for that kind of like being a part of that circle that I feel like I belong in, and YouTube really gave me that. When I started and when I see all these comments, they're like, "Oh my god, can you like post something about like eyeliner tutorial or something?" Because I've always been that girl. Like, if I see you, like, "Girl, have you tried this eyeliner?" I'm not a gatekeep kind of girly. I love sharing what I found. Like, if it's really good and such a steal, I've always been one of those girls. So whenever I'm sharing those and whenever I see those comments, I finally felt like I kind of belong somewhere, and I'm so grateful for that for this community until today. So yeah, it's a long story, but basically that's how I've decided along the way after I graduated that I wanted to go back to Korea and pursue this K-beauty dream.
Okay, so while you were in law school, you started making the vlogs and like beauty content. Did you start off in English or in Indonesian?
English.
Okay, in English. Because I was like, I knew that your channel that you had when I found you was in English, but then somehow you switched back to Indonesian, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. So after you graduated, you were like, I'm not about to take the exam to get into being a lawyer.
Yeah.
Right. So after you finish law school, you take an exam and then you can be a lawyer. Is that how it
So
works? I don't know.
after I finished law school, I get the law degree, but and then you have to take the bar, like the Indonesian
exam,
bar.
right.
But I didn't
You
end
didn't
up
even take it.
taking
You were
it
like,
because I was
I'm not
like,
taking it.
because my mom promised me. So she said, as long as you graduate, after you graduate, you can do whatever you want. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I will do my best till the very end, graduate, and I'll be like, ciao, I'm going to Korea. So that's what I did.
Well, that's true. I guess she wants you to have like something of a degree, especially if
fall
you're going to
back
go
on.
in Korea, because honestly, if we're speaking in Korea, if you don't have a degree, people really look down on that. Like it's very like
Yeah.
in Korea, like, oh, you didn't graduate?
Yeah. I'm very grateful for my mom for really guiding me through that and having something like a safety net to fall back on, because I was given 6 months in Korea to try to pursue whatever I wanted to pursue back then. And then she said, after 6 months, if it doesn't work out, you can always come back home. She gave me that deadline, and thank God
Asian
I never
parents.
came back ever since.
Man, Asian
So-
parents are so like invasive. If it was me, I'd be like, who are you to tell me? Where it's like, okay, well, I'm paying for everything for my college and stuff. So
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're going to come over here
Yeah.
and move me? Because I'll call the police.
Yeah. I should have been more like that too. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think I was still like in that. Yeah, I have this toxic traits that I always want to be a people pleaser because I've never been feeling like I'm fully accepted anywhere, and I feel like I never really fit in. I always talk about this on my Instagram and social media that I'm still struggling and I'm still trying to fix it. It's tough sometimes when you're just like, trying to please everyone. But I think motherhood really taught me, we'll talk about this later too, but motherhood really taught me to kind of like set boundaries and like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm all right. I'm doing it for my kid. So step back.
Yes.
So-
That's what I've heard a lot of people who are people pleasers. A lot of people who are people pleasers, they come into themselves after motherhood because they're sort of that mama bear thing. Because it's like, somebody wants to do something to me, a lot of people are like, fine. But if you want to do something to my kid, then no. Now what you need to do is you need to take that and apply it to yourself and think of yourself as being just as valuable.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Working
can
on
do
it
it.
every day. Sometimes when you're not that close with someone or you don't feel comfortable, there's like an unseen kind of like thing that you don't really want to let out too much because you don't know. But I love talking to Megan because I just feel like so comfortable, and whatever I say, she'll be like, oh, like that could happen. Like she doesn't judge me.
But then I'll tell you if it's wrong or not.
Yeah. I mean, if it's wrong, like
I can see that. Yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
But maybe we should think about this.
Yeah. And I
Don't
always
be-
appreciate that about Megan. You're always like so real about it. Thank you, girl. I feel like after becoming a mom, I get so emotional over
Yes.
like small things. And then if someone like just say something, I'll be like, oh girl, let me get my tissue.
But I did want to circle back on that. So after 6 months of doing your YouTube in Korea, then especially at that time, we didn't have a lot of YouTubers doing vlogs in Korea. So that's how I found you. I was like, oh, Sunny, someone else vlogging in Korea.
Right. The community was so small, huh?
Yeah, it was very small back in the day. People call us OG YouTubers, you know. Makes me feel old as hell. People are like, oh my God, Megan, you're the OG YouTuber. I've been watching you since I was in middle school.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm
And
like,
now I have my own kids and I'm like, oh wow, time has fly.
you've been watching me since middle school and now you're an adult here in Korea working. That means I've been here for a long time.
Exactly. Sometimes that made me feel like a grandma or a dinosaur or whatever you call it. I'm like, oh my God.
So I do want to ask, like in making that decision, even though you did stick, you know, on your path doing YouTube, etc., were there ever times where you kind of felt guilty?
So because I was so weird, I didn't have expectations around me. So people like never really like expect like, oh my God, she has to be like this. Cause like, oh, she's a weirdo anyway, let her be.
Oh, in
So
your family, you mean?
yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I've always done whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
So I never really doubted myself. So
Oh, that's good.
because I was like, there's nothing bad to fall. Like there's nothing really like bad. I mean, what worse could it be? Like I have this kind of mentality. So like, you know, let's go for it. Like let's
good.
get it. Look.
That's
So
good.
yeah, that's why I don't think I've ever feel guilty though. I mean, if I made a choice, if it didn't turn out well, I just have to live with it. And I think it's the greatest teacher. So I just do it, and I because everybody doubted me, like growing up, like even in school when I had my YouTube. Oh my God, when I started my YouTube channel, a lot of people thought that I was such a like attention whore. Like, oh my God, this girl is like she wanted to be the center of attention. Blah 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 blah. Why is she making her YouTube channel? Blah blah blah. There has always been a lot of talk when I made my YouTube, but I didn't really care. I love it. I love sharing things on with my community, and that's what mattered. And I finally felt like I belong somewhere. So I didn't really care and I didn't have any sense of guilt. Like I was just like, let's go.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think it's also good too that kind of in a sense, it's kind of good that your family and stuff thought of you as the weirdo.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, well, yeah, I'm a weirdo. I'm going to go on my own path. Because I feel like what your family says about you sort of shapes what you think of yourself. Your family's like, oh, she's always doing her own thing.
Yeah.
So I think that sort of helps you be like, yeah, I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And then it worked out.
Yeah. And also because my parents growing up, so my mom and my dad, my biological dad, when they were still together, they got divorced when I was 9, by the way. So they used to run a Korean restaurant. So they're always really busy. So they weren't
were
really
just
at
busy.
home. So they were just very busy. So I've always been at home doing my own thing. And that shaped me to be very independent in a way. And just doing my own thing, deciding things on my own. So I think that's where the core is coming from, I feel like.
And it seems like you also have a strong sense of knowing what really makes you happy and what you want to do. Because I feel like a lot of people, like they know that whatever path they're on because their family put them on it is not it, but they're not quite sure how to figure out what the things that they like and do. So in some regards, maybe your parents being busy actually helped you in this case because you had time to explore. You said you were drawing,
Yeah, drawing things,
doing like art
breaking things, trying to unbuckle or I don't know, undo things and just trying to figure out what's in it. I've always been a very curious kid. I think that's what it was.
curiosity.
Yeah, curiosity just like really get me.
So you're able to explore a lot of different things to find out what you like.
Yes.
I think it is unfortunate though. Some people, their parents are so tight that they don't even have a chance to explore other things. So they even grow up just doing what other people have told them to do. So they don't even know how to trust themselves and to do what they want to do. And that's actually kind of why I wanted to start this podcast anyway.
Oh yeah. By the way, I was just wondering like what makes you want to start this podcast?
Because I realize a lot of people just are not like me in the sense that I always just assumed that everybody would do what they wanted to do, right? It's like, well, why are you not doing what you want to do?
Right. There's always different circumstances.
Yeah, there's always
yes.
different circumstances. And I think a lot of people have a lot of fear around going after the things that they want. When I first came to Korea, well, not then, because it was before Gangnam Style came out. So people didn't really know about Korea. They were like, what the hell? War.
Yeah.
North Korean war. And so after a while, when I had been here for a while, people were like, oh my God, I think I want to move to Korea, but I'm scared. You know, I'm going to school for this or I'm doing that. Like, how can I go? How can I just get up and leave? I mean, I would reply to their comments, but I never really made any content sharing people's stories and motivating people to go after what they want. And I realize a lot of people, they're living lives that they feel miserable in. It's even people who make a lot of money, right? They're like these doctors or lawyers, like what you would have been, but they're so unhappy, so unsatisfied. And I think when you're unsatisfied with what you do, you sort of become unsatisfied with yourself.
Yeah.
And I think
and it goes really deep into that hole.
Yes. And then not only that, but when you're unsatisfied with life, you sort of attract people who are also unsatisfied with life to you.
Yeah.
So I think everything it stems on if you are living like the life that you want and you sort of feel happy and satisfied inside, because then you attract people who are happy and satisfied.
I agree.
Or people who are healed. So then everyone around you is nice and living their life. So for me, everybody I have around me are people like you, which is great. I have so many people to invite on this podcast.
Me too.
But I realize that there are some people who are completely the opposite. And
Yeah.
I've heard stories when people are like, they finally get up the nerve to say, you know what? I'm not happy doing this. I'm going to go back to school for something. And then everybody around them tell them that they're crazy. Like, you're crazy. How dare you, leave your stable job to like go pursue something else that you want? Like, that's crazy. Like, it's not going to work out. And they get so torn back down by the people around them. And it's so sad when I hear those stories. And it could be something simple. Like, I know someone that I went to high school with who sometimes I check in with. But even simple things like they just wanted to lose weight because they had been a big person their whole life. But everyone in their family is like, oh, you can't do that. And oh, you want to eat healthy? Oh, you can't, because they were all like big people too. And I was like, it's really important, like the
To have
energy
that like same energy to encourage friends, right?
But the thing is I know so many people who want to come out of that, but because they're stuck in a negative bubble, positive people don't really want to be around them. And I know I've met some people and I'm like, oh my God, that person's too negative. I don't want to be their friend. So I've left people like that too. So I was like, I think a good way to get people out of that and to maybe help improve people's life could be to just help motivate them just to go after the things that they want, even if it's just a hobby. So
I really love that.
just to help people to be more positive, go after the things that they want. This is your sign, girl. Go after
Yes.
what you want.
Go for it. I always say, never try, never know. That's like my biggest motto in life. It sounds so simple and it sounded like an elementary kid's giving like a quote, but it really stuck to me for the longest time because literally, if you never try, you'll never know the outcome. You'll never know what's out there that is waiting for you. So just go for it.
Yeah. And even if it's, let's say you're doing a job that you don't like because you were sort of forced into it with your family, just try different stuff. Like,
Exactly.
go do tennis as a hobby or just expose yourself to different things.
Yeah, and also you can also find yourself along the way too. You'd never be probably like, oh my God, I never thought I'll feel this way. I never thought I'm this kind of person.
You never know what you get into. There's some people who've just been night and day what they're doing, like with their life, night and day, and they feel so much more happy, so much more fulfilled and satisfied, even if they are making less money. I literally think the key to happiness is do the job that makes you happy. One thing that I noticed that I think honestly for you was a brilliant marketing tactic, and that's when your channel like really blew off, when you changed to Indonesian, because a lot of Indonesian people like K-beauty.
So honestly, it wasn't a marketing a tactic or anything. It was it really went down to expressing myself. So English is not my first language, obviously. I'm pretty sure everybody watching this, like, there's something off about that grammar. Like, because my first language is Indonesian, I find it really difficult sometimes to express myself in English. And I find there's always like a wall that I'm hitting that, let's say, like, I don't understand to use a certain word properly, and that ended up sometimes getting misunderstood in the comments, or like something that I said might be like, maybe I don't understand the cultural like meaning behind it, that maybe made me like insensitive in a way. So that kind of stuff like I ran into a lot when I was making English videos, and then I realized like, wait, let me just take a step back and make a video that I'm 100% feeling confident with like how I express myself. And that was like obviously speaking Indonesian, right? So I was like, hey, also I wanted to do that because I wanted to show my parents how I've been living in Korea.
Right.
Because it's easier for me to talk, and it's just easier for them to kind of connect with me. And also when I speak Indonesian, I want to talk about everything.
Girl, let me tell you, your personality changes That's what happens to everyone when they change languages, right? In your English videos, you're like, "Hi, I'm Sunny Dahye. Look at this lipstick." In Indonesian, it's like, and I'm just
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
"Oh wow!" Like this is her language.
Yeah.
She is like. You can see her personality and she doesn't even stop. Like I watch it and I'm like, she just going, like it's just the language is just flowing out. Like she's channeling spirits or something. I don't know.
That's
But
my
it
problem.
was
I talk too much in
no, but it's
Indonesian.
good. And I was like, okay, so this fits her. Like I'm low key sad because I can't watch all your content, but I'll still watch it and I'll be like, sometimes there's words that sound like Spanish.
Oh,
And I'll like, okay, I think I know what she's saying. So I was sad, but I was like, this is her language. Like she's in her element.
yes.
And then you blew up.
Yes, I'm very grateful until today. Every day, I think it really changed my life. I think the whole first, like, when I started my English channel, it already changed so much of my life. But opening Indonesian channel, I think it really multiplied it, and I think it really made my head more clear that, oh wow, this is like my true calling.
Yeah.
As in, like, this is, I feel really, really comfortable 100%.
Yeah. And you're being 100% yourself, I would say.
Yeah.
You're 100
I've always been, but maybe like the way I express it was not
Yes.
like 100%.
because you were doing it in a language. That's what I meant. Like
Yeah.
now you're expressing yourself in your mother tongue.
I think Indonesian language on its own is quite fast paced.
Okay.
Yeah, and quite fast paced, and it's already fast paced on its own. But the way I talk is a lot more fast paced than what it is. So a lot of my Korean friends also say, like, Sunny, I feel like when I watch your Indonesian channel, I feel like you're rapping, and I'm like,
yes.
oh, makes sense. I do actually.
You do.
Because I get so excited. I wanted to bust out so many words and I
Yes.
wanted to explain as much as possible. And now with the whole short form game, guys, you have 60 seconds. It's like 60 seconds, let's go. And I'm like, okay, I gotta talk about this, and this, and this. So maybe that's why.
Girl.
Right? Isn't like short form platform quite hard for us to adapt in the beginning
A little bit.
as a like long form creator, especially the OG YouTube? It was tough.
Because back then people had longer attention spans and people actually wanted to sit down. It wasn't like now where you're just scrolling. People wanted to actually sit down and watch something. So they intentionally put the videos on.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I need something to watch. Let me go see what Megan's doing. But then there wasn't that many creators either. But now there's creators everywhere and there's so much information. So it's hard. But I feel like a lot of people are going back to long form.
Yes, they are, which I'm really happy about because I feel like, okay, I'm finally, even though we already adapted to the short form now, but I feel like we've been, what do you call, when you're assembling, what do you call when you assemble a
Put
spirit?
back together.
No. Summon. We've been
Summoned.
summoned.
Summoned back, yeah. I never really got into short form. I didn't make that many. I was like,
But you're so good at it, girl. I've seen you doing the what do you-
Indian dance. I'm dead.
I was like, how did you do it? Wow.
Well, I do have a creative side, which I want to start exploring a lot more too.
I feel like you already nailed it though. You're really good at short form.
The problem is I don't have enough time to sit down and think of ideas.
I agree. After being a mom, it's like splitting that time to bust out a lot of content. Because I remember, like, I think both of us are quite similar in that sense that we would bust like 8 content or like 5 content a day before we have kids. But
no,
now
I never did that
it's
many.
Maybe that's
You
just me.
did.
Oh yeah.
Girl, she always working. We
Yeah,
went to
I'm-
visit her house. She's like, we're going to do this TikTok. I was like, okay.
I'm a workaholic. It's bad sometimes, but yeah, I used to bust out like 8 videos a day before I have kids. I have my baby, but now it's like getting 2 is so difficult too. Like sometimes getting 1, I'm already so grateful. I'm like, today was very productive day.
It was.
That's okay. Having a baby, it it slows you down a little bit, but the time that you get to spend with them is priceless.
It really is. So since we're talking about babies now, how has your life changed since you've had a daughter besides making less content?
I think that it changed from as soon as we get pregnant, no? Like your lifestyle changed completely because you have to adapt to this baby and you can't really eat whatever. Like there's a certain limitation, right? When you when you get pregnant. I'm pretty sure you can relate too, but I feel like instead of us teaching our baby, I feel like they teach us the most about sacrifice and a new level of responsibility that I never thought is there.
Yes, another human.
Another human that we have to be responsible with, and also like the sacrifice. I think I never understood what mother sacrifice really meant, because when people say like, oh my god, I'm going through this blah blah blah, like it was really hard, I felt kind of like, oh wow, that's really a lot, but I didn't really fully understand what it meant until you have one. And wow, moms are great. Really kudos to all moms out there. You guys are doing amazing. I just wanna, if you guys happen to be moms, you are doing great. I just want to tell you guys this. All moms, I respect you. Whatever you have done for your babies.
Thank you. I needed to hear that today.
Yes, especially, oh my God, you have two beautiful babies. But when they wake up so many times, it's so tiring. But when you see them smiling, it's like the most beautiful thing. Breastfeeding 5 times a night, and you're like so dead. But whenever you see them, like they're just cuddling up to you, it's just the most beautiful thing. And the love that you never thought that your heart could love that much is beautiful.
It is beautiful. So, don't cry. Oh, you can cry. We got some tissues.
I'm not there yet.
But what surprised you the most about being a mom? Like, I mean, you mentioned like the things you learned, like the sacrifice and stuff, but are there any surprising things?
I think before, the pre-baby Sunny was very, I think happiness to me was like going to a 5-star hotel, experiencing all this good food, you know, like being very materialistic, like, I want a Birkin bag. And like, you know, those kind of materialistic thing really made me happy. And I thought that was like what happiness like kind of meant. But now it's more like whatever makes my baby happy, it makes me happy. It's so weird, guys. I never thought I could feel this way, because I was a selfish kid. I mean, everybody in their like early 20s, like they want to do everything for themselves. They want to growth, you know, and explore the world, do whatever like for you. But yeah, it's interesting to see that change.
And you mentioned earlier that you were a people pleaser, but being a mom sort of helped you to come out of that. So what were some times where you had to really put your foot down because these people was doing stuff to your baby that you didn't want, girl?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I'm thinking about
I think I used to think like there was some instances like people wanted to come or something, and then my baby wasn't feeling well, and then I was like, sorry, can't do it. If it was me like a couple of years ago, like, oh sure, come. Like even though when I'm sick, I was still like, oh, like, you know, I would still want to meet because I'm so scared to feel like not a part of something, or I feel like I'm left out, or I don't know, I just feel that way a lot. So saying no to like gatherings and things like that was quite difficult. But now I'm just like, girl, my kid is not feeling well, we're not meeting. Or you know, when let's say we go to a doctor, and then let's say like he wanted to recommend some medication, and if it's just me, I'll be like, oh, he'd say, oh, you need to take antibiotics, blah blah. I was like, oh, okay, whatever, I'll take it. But now I'm like, why does my kid needs to take antibiotics? And like, from what I read, it ain't like this. Like this dosage is not good, blah 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 blah. Like I would just like ask and tajo a lot. So yeah, it's very strange to see this kind of like boundaries. But yeah, I'm really glad that kind of came out. And if I don't do it, and if my husband don't do it, who else will protect her, right? So it just comes naturally that you just want to have that boundaries and make sure that she's always protected and she's always safe.
That's good. So she helped you in that way too. Like, would you say that was one of the biggest things that having a daughter helped you to do, was to get rid of people pleasing stuff? Yeah. One of the tops.
One of the tops, but yeah, one of the tops actually.
That's good.
I had a conversation with my husband, and really my husband really gave it to me, because before we have her, when I was still pregnant, he was like, hey, you really need to change this, otherwise who else will protect her? If you can't stand up for her, like she would feel insecure, she will like get hurt like so young, and she would developed so many different problems within herself, and I don't want that for her. Obviously, I feel like all of us have a different childhood and we all went through a different childhood trauma, and I don't want her to get through that. But at the end of the day, also, none of us parents are perfect, so
Yeah.
we're trying our best in our own way. I'm also sure that our parents did their best to raise us, but sometimes like some traumas are unavoidable, but
Yes.
coming back, I just wanted to just protect her as much as I could, and hopefully she doesn't get any traumas from me.
Yeah, I think we all want that, but to some degree there will be some kind of trauma, because
Of
I think things that you
course.
don't even think about could be traumatic to someone else.
Yes.
Another question that I wanted to ask was just, how do you balance, caring for your daughter while still going for your dreams and identity, I would say? Like, how do you not, because, obviously it's not good to lose your identity and like everything is just about my kids and they're the reason I live. Like, that's obviously, we don't want to go like that. You still need to be independent in your own thoughts and take care of yourself, because when they grow up, they have to live their own life, right? Your
Yeah.
life can't become their life. Like, we don't want
Right.
to do that. No tiger moms. If you do, I'm going to come help you.
Thank you. I struggle with this a lot in the beginning of postpartum. I think the first 2-3 months was really difficult because your baby is so young and so they're still newborn, right? So you can't really go anywhere, and you're also kind of paranoid that they're gonna catch something outside. But also staying inside these four walls and just doing the same new routine with the baby does stress you out a lot. And I think at one point I was like, oh my god, if I stay in this house for another 3 hours, I'm gonna go insane. So I remember I need to do something that I used to do, but it's still doable now that I'm a mom. What did I do? So I was just trying to recall everything, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go to the nearest coffee shop with the baby, get some fresh air, and kind of reconnect with my old self and have that my me time, even though it's not really away from your baby, but it was really nice to have that and have that routine that you used to have, kind of slowly incorporate that back to your life as a mom. I think that's very important, because if not, you really will go crazy and start questioning your identity. Who am I? Am I just a mom? Am I and it really gets you to a very dark place, and that's where sometimes postpartum depression starts, So I'm really grateful that my husband just kind of gave me that idea to hey, maybe you should go out or do something, get some fresh air. And I'm glad that I did, and it really helped me kind of get my old self back.
Yeah.
I'm not really one of those people who are oh, I really want to go back to the pre-baby Sunny. I think I made a good farewell. So, I mean, I do miss it sometimes, but I'm not really interested in going back. So
Right.
that's why I think it was really nice to just have those old routine back and just help you stay Sunny.
Yeah. Yeah. People need to get out more with babies. I feel like in Korea, people go out a lot less. Like in the West, people will take their 5-day-old baby and be like, look, I'm going to the cafe.
Yes,
Just put it on your back.
Right. And when I went out, so I went out with my baby a lot ever since she was 4 weeks, I think. And so many Korean grandmas gave me a really stinky,
Go back
stink eye.
inside.
Oh my god, the baby's the socks are falling off, or oh my god, is he so cold? Girl, babies get overheated very quickly. You should not just put so much thing on, especially it was in the summer. So yeah, I got a lot of judgment from people. But
Did you learn how to speak up to old people in Korea?
oh, I just said 괜찮아요.
Oh.
I was like 괜찮아요, or I just sometimes just don't answer, because I don't
Just ignore them.
sometimes guys you don't want to mess up with the elderly here, because sometimes they could quite get aggressive. You different people have different personality, but you don't want
You're
to
small,
get.
so that's why. But I'd be like, I'm bigger than the old people here, so I'd be ready to square up.
But I was
Especially
just
if they want to touch the baby.
good thing they haven't really touched, so I'm just like this. I'm like, it's okay.
With me,
Just
girl, they
don't.
be trying to touch.
Oh,
And I will
why?
grab their hand. I smack the hand away a couple
Oh,
times.
that's good. Good for you. Good
Yeah,
that you did
girl.
that. Don't touch my
Girl,
baby.
no. And then we were standing in line somewhere. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to butt in. But I just need to tell you, we were
Please,
standing in
please.
line somewhere, and this woman was like standing not too far from us, and she coughed in her hand. She was like you know how old people cough, and she used her hand like this, and then she was like, "Oh my God, the baby's so cute," and I said,
Don't touch.
"Don't. That is no,
Never.
And then she looked so offended.
I don't know why though. Isn't it? Because don't they? Some
Maybe it
people don't
depends.
understand boundaries and like personal space. It's because like, there's so many videos going around that like some stranger kiss your baby and then they have eye infection and they go like some people unfortunately some
And they
babies
just
go
wanna
blind.
touch.
You know, don't do that. I
Yeah,
feel like
girl.
it's really important to educate those too.
You do. But I think they're better now. I think it depends on where you were. I was always in an old area of town. And then, we moved to Paju. So there's this like Hanoks, old traditional Korean house. And then our street is just like old people. They just walk up down the street or they be outside farming. So they'll come over. But still, I'd be like, no.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't have that experience. I just like go in the corner and like don't talk to me.
Yeah. And then they'd be like, oh, I'm so worried about your baby. But then they bring their germs over there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like have Saku with me and have them not touch my kids.
Yeah.
So.
But for me, I had one in the front and one in the back. So I always had to be vigilant. Because like sometimes I'll be standing somewhere and I feel a little bit of movement and someone will be just like touching the feet. So I turn around and look at them.
Oh yeah, don't touch.
Yeah.
Don't touch anything.
Don't do it, especially if you see a Western woman, because maybe she's going to slap you. Okay. So let's get back on topic here.
Yes.
I do have a question though. What is something that you would hope that Sakadora learns from looking at your life? Because, kids, they don't learn what we tell them. You do this, you do that. They look at our lives and they copy it. So that's why it's important that we keep our lives, full. We make sure that we're doing the things that we love, et cetera, because they see that they grow up and they do the same. So what type of things, what do you hope she learns from you watching your life?
We really hope that we taught her well for her to be making the decision that she think is right and be confident about it. And sometimes, it's okay to make a mistake, you learn and not be too like this is the end of the world.
Right.
I really hope that she be confident in herself, in whatever she chooses. Mommy and daddy will always be there for you. Getting emotional.
She's crying. So
We'll
cute.
always be there for you. So no matter what decision you make, we'll always support that. And don't worry, we got you.
I don't know. Chris said he want her to be in technology.
I mean, honestly, I think parents could have their own little dream for their kid, but at the end of the day, she can pick and choose whatever she wants to be. But
Who's it?
it's okay for us to have a little dream for you, Saku. If you want to be a space engineer, that would be great. But if you want to be something else, hey, mommy will support you 100%.
She knows what she wants, just like
Be
you knew.
Yes, be confident and also. Saku, it's okay to be weird. Whatever people say, if they say like, oh my God, you're so weird, be proud of it. Because I was a weird kid too. And hey, it's fine. At least I got somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Being weird, it's fine. And sometimes being weird could make you very special.
Yeah, it makes you more, especially, even if you're just thinking from a job market standpoint, right? Like, if you're doing the same as everyone else, then nothing will make you stand out.
Yeah.
And I think at some point in time, you can't just follow what other people are doing. You have to make your own route. And if you're just trained to follow, then you'll never make anything new,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So
I hope she has her own opinion, critical, and, have her own mindset. I think it's very...
I think she will. She has a lot of aunties who do that. I feel like all of your friends are like that. We're all people who live what we want.
Yeah,
so
yeah, that's right.
Even if it's later on and she's like in middle school saying, oh, these kids are making fun of me, the aunties. Just call me and Carson.
Yeah.
Call me and Carson and we'll be like, what do you mean?
I love that. Yeah.
What do you mean?
My auntie Megan said blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, this is so fun.
This is fun. I just want to end on the question, what are some words or encouragement that you have for people who they sort of want to pursue their own dreams, but they're sort of afraid to take that first step?
Stay curious. Just stop thinking about the what ifs. I think I said it in the middle part of this video that my motto is never try, never know. I think not many people think like me though. I'm the weird one, guys. So this is coming from a very weird
No, I think like
person.
that too.
Yeah. So if you think too much, you're never gonna get out of that zone that you're comfortable in, and you're never gonna see what's beyond. So just forget about the what ifs. Sometimes what you need to do is just try to take that first step and see what's there for you, and maybe it could turn out to be the best decision that you make. And looking back, you're going to be like, wow, I'm glad that I made that step. I'm glad that I made that change in my life. Maybe what you're currently in now, you're having a really toxic work environment, and maybe you really don't need that in your life. Maybe what you need is you need that change and going to a different things, different direction, pursuing what you wanted to do. So stop thinking about the what ifs, because I just, for me, I just like do it. It can get very risky. Sometimes it could be a bad thing for me too, because I'm always, I don't know, I'm just like programmed in that way that I'm always like, let's do it. I always thinking about the first step without thinking like the long term. But for me, mostly it turned out pretty great. So maybe it's a sign for you guys
It's
to
a sign for you.
no, do it and stop thinking about all these X, Y, and Z possibilities.
You just got to go for it and take that leap of faith. And sometimes things might not work out, but I still feel like you still learn a lot from it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then if the first thing you tried didn't work out, the second or third could, you know?
Yes, and along the way, I think the best teacher is also along the way learning about yourself. Like, oh wow, actually maybe I thought I like it, but maybe I don't, you know? Or like maybe, oh wow, I didn't know I'm this kind of person, you know? A lot of like self-discoveries too along the way, and I think it's the greatest thing. I think a lot of the decision I never regret. A lot of I got a someone asked me this question: do you regret anything that you've done in the past? I'm like, no, that made me who I am today. So I wouldn't turn back time and change anything.
Yes. All right. Thank you so
Thank you
much for
so
being
much
on here
for
today. It
having
was
me,
so much fun.
Megan.
Thank you for your words of wisdom. I hope that she was able to encourage you guys to like start making some steps to just live that authentic life that you really want, because it really is so much better to be doing what you authentically love, even if
Yes.
it pays less. Let's not be caught up in this materialistic, let's just have all this money and like do this and go after what people want. No, girl, it ain't gonna bring happiness.
Yes, that's right.
It ain't. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'll have all of Sunny's links down below. If you speak Indonesian, go for it.
Oh, I have TikTok.
You do English over there too.
I'm starting an English TikTok, so if you guys
Okay.
wanna follow, please follow.
She'll have her English TikTok there too. So I'll see you guys next time.
Bye.